huling tanong ko po, Mr. Chairman, at siguro naman ho, sa history, I do not know when this will be taken up. Noong 2010, 2014 ho, nagsubmit na kayo ng renewal. Ano po nangyari? Kasi ngayon ho, under COVID, under pressure, 10 months, pinipilit nating aprubahan o pag-usapan tong prangkisa. You can imagine, noong pong 1986-87, ibinalik ng Pangulong Aquino sa inyo ang prangkisa. In 2014-2016, the President is the son of former President Cory Aquino. I would think there is at some point some congruence in terms of principles, in terms of perception, no, or political camp, if you may, meron po kayong pagkakaisa sa isip at kampo pampolitika ng Pangulong Noynoy Aquino. Ano pong nangyari 2014 at hindi na-pursue ang inyong prangkisa?
I can only answer factually, Mr. Chair, that there was no hearings scheduled for the franchise in I think it was the 16th Congress.
Kahit isa pong pandinig sa prangkisa ng 2014?
Sorry po, there was one hearing. There was only one hearing scheduled po.
Ito po yung bill na final ni Congressman Agabao, if I'm not mistaken. Opo. So matapos po ng isang hearing, ano po nangyari?
It was not acted on by the committee, Mr. Chair.
Kasi alam niyo po, Mr. Katigbak, ito pong sitwasyon namin, and I think I can speak for some who are asking questions. Alam niyo dito sa social media, araw-araw tumitira yung mga pro-ABS, anti-ABS. Kami po yung napagitna sa isang sitwasyon na 10 buwan pinipilit namin i-hearing to. Ngayon ho, ilang COVID nga tayo, suspended ang hearings, ang session, nandito ho kami. Bakit hindi nyo kayo nag-pursue ng 2014? Bakit hindi po nagsalita mga taga-Abs-Cbn ang mga artista na nagsasalita ngayon noong 2014 to 2016 na panahon naman po ng Pangulong Noynoy Aquino?
Ay, di ko po masasagot yung sa 2014 po. But sa ngayon po nagsasalita yung mga artista at empleyado kasi tinanggalan po kami sa ere. I think more than any other reason, that's why people started speaking out po, Mr. Chair.
Klaro ko lang po, no? Nagkaroon ng cease and desist, kayo po ang nagsara. Dahil kung lalabanan niyo po yun sana, pwede naman. Pero at any rate, noong pong 2014-2016, ang luwag ho ng panahon natin eh. Noong panahon ni Noynoy Aquino, from 2014 to date, 6 years. At pinapayagan po yan na pwede kayong mag-apply ng mas maaga at mag-renew ng mas maaga ng inyong prangkisa, ng inyong lisensya at kung anong paman po na pinanghahawakan. So, meron po ba makakasagot sa atin sa ABS-CBN kung ano nangyari? Because ito, for the record, malalaman na ho ng komite later on, years from now, mababasa po ito ng mga tao at mapapaliwanag yun ng malinaw kung bakit hindi kayo nag-renew. Galit po ba si Presidente Noynoy Aquino sa inyo ng mga panahon na yun?
Hindi ko po masasagot yung action ng Kongreso nung panahon na yun. Sa pagkakaalam ko po, nag-file po kami ng renewal in the previous 2 Congresses. And I understand there was only one hearing that was called with regards to our franchise application po.
Bakit naman po nung kami nga po ang 10 buwan pa lang, bigla naman kaming tinira ng kung saan-saan na sinisisi ang Kongreso. I think Congressman Villago, did you file that time, before 2016?
Defensor, as far as I know, 16th Congress pa lang, final na ito. Nagkaroon sila ng isang hearing, after that, nawala na. So I
17th or 16th?
16th Congress. So I filed it on 17th Congress. Hindi din nadinig. And now 18th Congress. Ngayon pa lang natin nag-uumpisa ang discussion tungkol sa franchise of ABS-CBN.
So sa makautuwid po, nung 16th Congress, hindi po si Congressman Chicoy Alvarez. 17th Congress, hindi pa si Congressman Chicoy Alvarez. Nung second half. Di ba ho? Asa na po? Wala po naging hearing.
Opo, 17th Congress is under the chairman of Chicoy Alvarez. Wala pong hearing na naganap. And then ngayong 18th Congress, last March 10 lang kami nagkaroon ng hearing with the Speaker Cayetano po.
Hinintay ka lang ng ABS-CBN, Congressman Mike Defensor.
Yun lang mabigat doon. So, from that time to this time, because the 2014 is and the 2014 to 2016 years were the very critical. Ito po para sa akin ang critical. Dahil kung ang Pangulong Noynoy Aquino na anak ng dating Pangulong Pangulong Aquino, Cory Aquino, na ibinalik sa inyo, bakit hindi naman niya ibabalik ang inyong renewal?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I cannot answer for the President. What I can say is that ABS filed our franchise renewal application with the committee po.
Yung iba po bang opisyal na nandun sa 2014, would you like to reply to that?
Mr. Chair, if I may add, no. I think at the time nung hindi na siya gumalaw, we felt that we had time pa naman, so we didn't pursue it at that point when it was not moving anymore. So I think that's why it was refiled again in the 17th Congress. So yun yung nangyari po.
The 16th Congress was the time of President Noynoy Aquino. And you were thinking the 17th Congress and the 18th Congress.
Yes.
That could be pursued. So again, was there any problem with President Noynoy Aquino or any of the officials of President Noynoy Aquino? Because Chris Aquino was there in 2014 with ABS-CBN. Is that not correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Oh, yun naman po. Talent niyo si Chris Aquino. Ang Presidente Noynoy Aquino, anak ng President Cory Aquino. Ako po yung nagtataka, ba't hindi niyo na rin yun ang panahon na yun?
Ang tanong po ni Congressman Mike Defensor ay nagkatampuhan po ba kayo nung panahon na yan?
Go ahead. Mr. Chair, I think yung negosyo ho namin sa ABS, I think it's quite normal ho na every administration nagkakatampuhan naman at some point kung may mga hindi magandang lumalabas. But I cannot cite any specific issue at that point na with the President Aquino at that point, na hindi natuloy dahil doon.
Nakausap niyo po ba si President Aquino, Mr. Lopez, Mr. Katigbak?
Tungkol sa franchise po, hindi po namin pinag-usapan yun.
Pag-uusap lang po na itong approval, hindi niyo na pag-usapan.
Hindi po.
Wala po kayong idinulog kay Pangulong Noynoy tungkol dito sa prangkisa ng 2014 to 2016?
Personally po, hindi ko kinausap si Presidente tungkol sa prangkisa ng ABS po.
Mr. Lopez, would you have
No, Mr.
discussion?
Chair, not aware at that point.
Chris Aquino po, hindi niyo ko kinausap na tumulong para inunin niyo yung prangkisa.
Ako, hindi rin po.
Kayo po, Mr. Lopez.
Hindi rin po at that time.
Parang kayo ho ata may kasalanan kung ba't di kayo na rin yun ng 2014 to 2016. Hindi ho kayo nakipag-usap sa mga dapat kausapin. Tama po kayo, naintindihan ko. From time to time, may tampuhan. I was there during that time. And we had also some skirmishes. I would recall that I would call ABS-CBN and the lawyers would be there and we would be discussing ano yung ginagawang broadcast ng ABS. No? Pero, you know, it is, again, if you look at the history of ABS-CBN and the Lopez family, natanggal po sa inyo yan, na ibalik sa inyo ng Pangulong Cory, pero seemingly hindi nyo na ibalik when the talent was Chris Aquino, the daughter of President Cory Aquino, and the President is Noynoy Aquino, the son of President Aquino. I cannot see why it cannot be renewed at that time. There was very legal basis to do that. You could have done that easily. Nobody would question because some franchises would do it earlier than the prescribed date. Napakahirap pong mag-renew pag nandun ka na sa deadline. And there was no moral, to my mind, problem if you had pursued a renewal at that time. Would you like to give any statements to that effect? O meron po ba kayong gusto sabihin?
I don't think there's anything else I can add, Mr. Chair, other than that we did file for the renewal of our franchise application with Congress. And unfortunately for us, it was not acted on by the 16th and 17th Congress.
Ngayon po, isang statement na lang, Mr. Chair, tapos na po ako. Ito yung nangyayaring hearing natin sa prangkisa ay dumadaan sa isang constitutional process. Meaning to say, hindi po to take over ng gobyerno. Hindi ho nangyari to during martial law when accordingly in the affidavit of, at doon po sa affidavit ni Mr. Roneda, sinasabi niya, pumasok ang mga sundalo nag-take over. Dumadaan po tayo sa isang legal at constitutional na proseso. Ang Kongreso po ang may kapangyarihan magbigay sa inyo ng prangkisa. Dahil ito nga po ay isang pribilehiyo, ito po yung desisyon na gagawin ng Kongreso. Pag kami po ba nagdesisyon na huwag kayong bigyan ng prangkisa, titingnan niyo pa buto na isang pang-aabuso ng gobyerno o katulad ng diktadoryang Marcos na tinake over kayo. Gusto ko lang pumalaman kung ano ang pananaw niyo tungkol dito.
Your Honor, the prerogative to grant or deny a franchise rests solely with Congress. And while we're here to try and prove to the committee that there's good reason why our franchise should be renewed, at the end of the day, we respect the rule of law po.
Thank you, Mr. Katigbak. And would you recognize this as a legal and constitutional process? And that later on, years from now, history will not say that we oppressed ABS-CBN or that we forcefully took over ABS-CBN.
We are present at these hearings, Mr. Chair, because we recognize that this is part of the process.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chairman, and I appreciate the reply of Mr. Katigbak and Mr. Lopez on the questions about the history of ABS-CBN. Nagpapasalamat po ako sa inyo